Hello, this is Colonel Steve Akeley of the ABV Network, and you're watching one of our original videos that we've created for you. We're doing this each and every day. If you want to make sure that you never miss out on this original content, please hit the subscribe button down below. And also, if you'd like this video, it helps new people find our content, which is pretty important to us. And now, on to today's video.
Life has been so good. I want to thank a whole lot of people because I didn't get here by myself. I wasn't born knowing any of this stuff. And first of all, I want to start out thanking my mom and dad who really taught us that we lost someone a couple years ago. That you never do just kind of enough to get by. You do all your best. You do the best every day. And you try to do as much as you can. And I want to thank my brothers and sisters. My family is basically a living Rolodex. I've got lawyers, doctors, engineers, accountants, CPAs, and people who've been very, very successful in business. And now that is going on down to my nieces and nephews and my very own children. Tony's in the business. And no matter what I need, I can pick up a phone in about 3 seconds, have at least a contact, or know somebody, or find who I need to talk to. The other people I want to kind of thank is my first job was at Seagram's. And Seagram's was a wonderful place to learn the trade. And if you come to industry where there's other engineers building these distilleries, there seem to always be a couple guys from Seagram's that keep turning up. So it's a wonderful school, a great place to go and learn the trade. And I want to thank a lot of the people who were the hourly people. I'm a guy who asks 5,000 questions. Why? Why do we do this? Why should we do that? How do you do this? And there's an awful lot of people who are mechanics, machinists, line operators, distillery employees, and everybody else who took time to show me how and why and where you do these things. And that's where I learned my trade. And then going to Bourbon, I left there. And basically, the reason I left Seagram's is when the plant in Louisville closed, I wound up moving over into their international, or to their engineering group that was stationed in Louisville. But I was never home, and I had a daughter, Sarah. I told you it was on some way. But I got up for a guy named Chuck Brock called me about 10 times. And it turned out that he knew the guy that had worked with him at Seagram's, who knew I really wasn't very happy traveling all over the country doing things. And he kept calling me, telling me I needed to come. And I finally I agreed to have lunch with him and decided to take the job at Seagram's at Bourbon. And it turned out to be the best thing that could ever happen. I wound up raising my 2 kids. The school they went to was a block away. The fields they played on were just right there. So moving to Bardstown was an absolutely beautiful thing. And you know, you tell people, I hear a story that says, if you really want to make God laugh, tell him your plans. Because it never works out that way. I never dreamed I'd be working in Bardstown. And then I got there, I was about 28, 29 years old, and I looked like I was 12. And so people at first didn't even believe I was an engineer, much less an engineering manager, much less somebody with some power at Bourbon. So it was kind of interesting. People would walk in and want to talk to, they want to talk to the engineer. That's me. Well, I want to talk to the engineering manager. Well, it's me. And so it was interesting. But I also want to thank salesmen and people who came to work at our place. And I've got a brother-in-law now who I've met some of his salesmen. When we came to see you, you always asked more questions than anybody else for the rest of the week. You know, we had to be on our game when we came to see you. So that's the thanks I want to give out to all the people who helped me get to where I am. The next one I want to thank are the distillery owners and people who invested their money and hired me to help me, let me work for them and train and design and build their distilleries. I tell you what, working in the distilling industry, I never don't think I really worked a day in my life. I loved it. I mean, just absolutely loved it. And I got to back up. One of the first things I should have done was my wife, Gail, that she put something I take calls when we're eating dinner from people who have equipment that's down and won't run, or they got a problem with the still, and I'm sitting there eating dinner. I'm supposed to be, kind of being in the dinner with her, and I'm talking to people about how to adjust the steam on the still or get the proof to where they want it to be. So thank you, Kim, but she lets me do Zoom calls when we're on vacation in Florida, so that we can keep distilleries on schedule to try to get them built. It's just wonderful. They just, you just can't thank enough people. Another one, and Colin, I want to thank him very much for nominating me and for being my presenter. I couldn't have picked a better one. But they've also given me a stage, and with everything that everybody has given me, I always felt I needed to give back. And I found that home at Epicenter. Literally, I've probably taught, 2,000, 2,500 people in the different classes that we've taught. And a whole lot of those people have become friends, and a whole lot have become people that I work for later on. And it's just amazing being able to share what I have learned and teach them and see them grow and become very prosperous. And over the course of the 12 years, I have worked for over 100 different distilleries, and I don't remember what was the count, 26 or 28 different states. And I just, made friends everywhere, and it's become, it's just been absolutely wonderful. And I want to thank also the team at Busick. I've done quite a few distilleries with them. And that team, I've gotten to the point where I say 2 words and they know the whole rest of the paragraph. So being able to do this work is really beginning to become easy and fun. Another one I want to say to Jerry, look at Barton. Here's Jerry and I were working at Barton at the same time. So talk about a wonderful factory and a place where we can learn and figure out how to make all this stuff go the way it goes. So it just is, I've just been absolutely blessed. And then I'm going to steal another line from politicians is you never let a good disaster go to waste. Well, I'm going to kind of paraphrase it and say, I want to never let a perfectly good awards thing go to waste. So I got all you people, so I'm going to kind of bend your ear a little bit. There are a whole lot of people who are just like me, who are the engineers, who do the consulting work, and not just engineers. They help you with your front of your house operations and everything else. I think some of them need to be in here. They deserve this just as much as I do. They've helped you build wonderful distilleries and make things really work. And also, the people down in your distilleries, think about how hard it is to keep your house and your car running. I guarantee those bottling lines and those distilleries are a hell of a lot harder to run than to make your distillery run, to make your household run. And there's a lot of people down there who have really put their hearts and things in it. They show up at 4 o'clock in the morning, and they're there when you need them. And those are the people we kind of need to kind of maybe include a few of them in here and think about them. They're what makes the whole place run. The other one is, I want to kind of touch upon for a minute, is in Nelson County and Bardstown, people who do know who I was or where I was have had some negative things to say about the industry. And there are always naysayers and people who don't like it or whatever. That's okay. So what we got to do is we got to do a better job and continue to. Some of them do wonderful jobs. Some of the little distilleries do a lot better job than some of the big guys. That we need to reach out in our communities and help where we can help. We've got wonderful IT people, engineers, mechanics, everything else. And when they need help, just kind of give them some help. You don't even need your name on it. You earn a hell of a lot more credit, and you get a good place. You develop that respect and the feeling of the community that you're going to need someday when the chips are down. You count your friends when your chips are down. So those are kind of my words there. So I'm going to wrap it up. I want to thank the KBA and everything else. When I got the call from Eric that asked me, the dumbest question I've ever heard, would you be in the Hall of Fame? Oh, God. I collapsed. Shit, yeah. I'm delighted. So I want to thank the KBA and the board and everybody who wrote that. I understand from Colin there were quite a few letters. I've seen a number of them that were written. They're absolutely beautiful letters that were written that recommended me. And I thank everybody. I just don't know what else to say.